What is up, YouTube? Welcome to my little channel here. It's my first video. I'm just gonna be posting me cooking, POV videos of me cooking. I cook a variety of different stuff, mainly Indian food, but today I've got something really simple. I don't have a lot of seasonings left because I've been cooking a lot, and I'm like, you know what, let me use up what I do have and just make this little quick video for you guys. So currently got some pinto beans, I've got onions, better than bouillon, and I've got some chili powder left over. Not that much, but just enough to be able to make this a meal. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's see how this goes. And we are here. So, got these onions right here. I'm just going to start cutting these up. Now, I think this onion, a little bit of mold. Like I say, this is stuff that needs to, this is one of these cooking sessions where I'm just trying to get rid of as many things that I have in here, just to try to make space for other things that I might want to cook in the future, as well as use as many of the seasonings that I currently do have up. So you can see I got my pinto beans here. I've got some better than bouillon for some flavoring, chili powder, garlic, missing ginger with this session, but we make it work with what we have. So today's session is just going to be me cooking down these pinto beans along with some vegetables that I have. I've got some green peas that I'm going to be using along with this, that I'm just going to cook along with it, and yeah, this should be a decent little session. So curious what you guys are cooking up, what you guys like to cook. I'm a very big fan of Indian food. I love Indian food, so a lot of the times when I do cook, it has an Indian kind of vibe to it, but today's a little bit different. Today's just me trying to use up what I have, try not to be wasteful, and what I want to try to do is get some more seasonings in. I've got a lot of seasonings that I've got to buy. I've kind of neglected that aspect and used as much as I can, and then at this point I'm at that point where I've had literally nothing left except for that chili powder and that better than bouillon. So we're just gonna cook up what we can with that. Nothing crazy going on here, just something simple. Got my oil here. For this one, I'm going to use a little bit of garlic, decent amount. Seeing as though the dish really doesn't have a lot of extra flavorings, so use the garlic liberally to get that extra flavor. And while this is heating up, I'll just be making sure everything goes around. So the kitchen, as you can see, it's not, I have a couple things I want to do in here. I want to organize this area. It looks a little bit, not untidy, but I want it to look a little bit better. So I'll just do a little bit of organization around some of the things that I have there. Maybe some containers. Definitely a bigger mason jar needed for that rice. But we work with what we have, and we just enjoy what we can do, what we have. I'm gonna put this away. And as this is going, I see this oil is nice and hot. I love using beans in creative ways. I love them for meal preps, but also for carbohydrates, the protein that those beans have in them, nutrients as well. It just works out perfectly for my meal preps. But sometimes I also will have some ground beef. I'll just try something different. Chicken as well, of course. But it's all about experimenting. It's all about experimenting in the kitchen. Trying different things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. So, no eye-watering as at this point, but yeah, that could definitely change real quick. Luckily the garlic ain't gonna get me like that. Yeah, we'd love to know what you guys love to cook. What is your go-to meal? I would say that pinto beans for me is my go-to at the moment. Love the versatility of it. I love being able to buy them in bulk and be able to make these little dishes. Are you guys into a certain kind of like maybe countries of food? Is it mainly country that you're from, the food that you cook, or do you like to kind of try different things from different countries? For me, I lean towards Indian food. I love Indian food, so that's my vibe. I'd love to know what you guys are into as well. Let's see, we've got these onions getting to a point now where you can already see the caramelization happening already. I'm gonna lower the light a little bit. Oops, there's it. So get this rice going. Don't you hate when you pour a little bit too much out? That's not my 2 cups there. And again, really simple with everything today, guys. I am not doing anything extra. Sometimes I like to add bay leaves and star anise to the rice to add a little bit of perfume and flavor. Today, we're just doing very simple. We're keeping it salt and pepper. Could even add a little bit of better bouillon in there, but leave it in, keep it simple. Salt, pepper, a little bit of oil, and that's it. Keeping it simple. Get all the starch out. Another good addition to this dish is some tomatoes. You get some chopped tomatoes in here. Oh, lovely, lovely. But today, none of that. None of that today. None of that today. And that is okay. Let's get this out of the way. Not that anymore. So these beans have been soaked for overnight. I've rinsed them, so we've got them in a perfect condition to start cooking. I don't really like cooking these from dry beans. I like to soak them first overnight before I get them into cooking mode. So at this time, I'm just going to be continuing with my onions. These are ready at this point. These are gotten some good browning on them to start the next process. So really just be adding in some of this. Get that garlic in here. It's funny, guys, I usually don't cook this meal with the amount of like ingredients that I usually do today. What I'm doing today, I usually do a little bit more in terms of seasonings and stuff. But again, we have to work with what we have, right? One of the things is that sometimes people feel like you can't cook and you can't do certain things because there's a lack of ingredients. I'm like, no, there's always a way to kind of substitute and make ways to cook, but make it still enjoyable, make it still tasteful, make it still to the point where you're like, you know what, I can't even tell the difference that I have less stuff in here today. And that's the kind of idea with dishes like this. They're simple, they're nutritious, but you get the job done. You know, you get the done, and you get the job done, and you're fed, and you're, you know, at the end of the night, and at the end of the day, you're feeling satisfied. So I'm gonna do here. Get some of this in here. So this, I'm using about 2 teaspoons today. Oh, so there's it. About 2 teaspoons. Oh, add the whole thing. It's about 2 teaspoons there. Along with about a teaspoon of this. Better than bouillon. And this is my flavoring essentially here. This is my flavoring. Get this nicely mixed up in here. One thing I do try to do is try to stay tidy while I'm cooking. So when I know that I'm done with certain things, try to get them into a space where I can make more space for other things that might need to go there. So try to tidy up a little bit. I feel like when you tidy up when you're cooking, it just makes everything easier. Makes everything so much easier. Again, so we're just gonna wait. Got this going. Allow that to go and just heat up for a little while, and then I add a little bit of water before adding in this. The waiting game. So I'm just gonna let that go. Just add a little bit of this in there now. No waiting game. You want to get things going. You can see there, just by adding in what I've added in, we create a little bit of a base to hold our beans. Now, this base can really be done in different ways. You could add peppers in here, red peppers, sweet peppers, along with the onions, obviously ginger, garlic. You can make it as extravagant as you want, or as complex as you want. As you see, this is what I've been waiting for. A little bit of boiling to happen allows me to know that the seasonings are getting to the right temperature. And now I'll add in my beans. Now what I usually do, get that nice and high. Lovely, lovely, absolutely lovely. Love it. So now I usually will be adding water till it gets to the place where I want it to get to, just so it covers the beans. So I'll just be adding in shortly. But what I like to do, get this water heated up a little bit before adding in. I think that just helps keep everything at a constant temperature. Speeds up the cooking too. Could imagine you adding in cold water in here and you've got hot beans. It just kind of throws things off, and then you've got to wait for that water to get warm again, and then slowing the process down. So I like to just speed things up if I can. Have that going. Wait for that to be ready. While I start to wash up a little bit. And the washing up, look, it's saving me so much time now to get some of this done. While the kettle's boiling, while the beans are getting that little bit of a micro sear, if you want to call it a sear. It's kind of like, for me, this is how I picture it. The beans are getting seared into the seasonings that I have in there first, and then I add the water in. But I think if that makes a difference, I hope it does. If it doesn't, it makes me feel good that I'm doing that. So I think that's what we'll do. Lower slightly. As you can see, the rice is coming to where we need to get it. Perfect timing, right? Perfect timing. Now I get this in here. And for me, we're just trying to cover these beans up. Do a quick stir. And I think we are at that stage. I think that's enough water. Alright, so as you can see, rice is starting to boil. What I'm gonna do is have this start to boil as well, and then have it on a simmer for maybe about an hour, depending on how quickly the beans get soft, and then we'll be all done. So I'll be back in an hour or so, and then we'll just check how this comes out. So with this one, added some peas. Beans are nice and soft. Peas are just add a little nice finish to the dish, and obviously some extra vegetables as well, which is also good. Rice perfectly cooked, and we're ready to serve. And we are done. This is our green peas, pinto beans, and rice meal cooked. Super simple, nothing complicated with this meal, but hopefully it's flavorful, nutritious, and just, you know, makes me go off to bed feeling good tonight. So if you like the meal, let me know. If you like the video, let me know as well. And yeah, I'll be making more of these videos more often as I try new recipes, as I get more new seasonings in as well. So yeah, stay tuned, and I hope you have a good night.